So look, Steve, I've got a few things here. Not the rare, but the common, actually, just to give people an idea what you can find on the beach. And obviously we'll see the difference between Kimmeridge and here, and it's mostly in the quality of the preservation, isn't it, really, I think. So when I first came to Lyme 50 years ago,
cool, you're
picked
that
up,
old.
yeah,
Oh, right, sorry.
picked up one of these little fool's gold ammonites, just lying on the beach like that. They're absolutely gold. I've had people, I can't convince them that they're natural.
Oh, right.
But they are. So what's happened here is the fool's gold, it started as a sludge on the seabed, and that sludge has been squeezed into the chambers of the ammonite and crystallised into this. They look just like man-made.
Yeah, they do. Beautiful.
They are. And they get quite big, up to sort of 4 or 5 inches. But the rougher the weather, obviously the more you can find.
Yeah. And they come out the shales.
They come out of the shales, but because this is the fool's gold itself, it's a natural metal, it's very heavy.
Yeah.
So the sea sorts the fool's gold into patches.
Yeah.
Where you find the patches,
you'll find the ammonites, because they're all heavy as dense.
That's right,
Yeah, you do that with money as well. That seems to collect like in a line. Yeah.
And then we've got the other one is the Belemnite.
Oh, 30 caliber bullets.
Yeah. In the old days, devil's bullets. They thought they came out of the sky during lightning storms. But you don't have these, do you, in the Kimmeridge?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, a few. They're
I've
not
not
common.
seen many in your collection, yeah.
Yeah, they've got probably about 12, 15.
Because that's extraordinary. These are the commonest fossils by any.
Yeah.
Because if you look at it, it's a solid shell. It's a solid radiating calcite shell.
Yeah.
So when it dies, the animal dies, that's just going to sink straight to the seabed. There's no problem about it being crushed. There's no problem about it floating and bobbing around. They're heavy. They're really common. You can pick up, hundreds of them.
Yeah. I remember coming down years ago right under Stone Barrow, was it? Beautiful ones. Lovely. All in the clay, not even washed out. They were pristine.
So what that means for you in the Kimmeridge, there can't have been very many Belemnites around at that time.
No, we had other Belemnites, these other squid and trachytooths, which were look like modern cuttlefish. They're not, but that's the similarity in some ways. So we get those, but yeah.
Then another thing we've got here is this lovely the devil's toenail. Or as on one of my guided walks the other day, a little delightful child said Daddy's toenail because Daddy had dropped a brick on his toe.
Oh God. They're beautiful though. The growth lines on these things. I mean, for a kid, when I started collecting stuff like that, you found that would literally make your day.
Yep.
And I know now that you get blasé about these things, but these are the things, these are the fossils, those Belemnites and these that really start you in this sort of career or interest in fossils.
I'll tell you what also, Steve, to find one with both shells, because the other shell sits on top here.
Yeah.
They're actually
like an operculum.
Yeah, I reckon they're rarer than ichthyosaurs. I've got more ichthyosaurs than I have got.
Oh, the operculum.
Gryphea with both valves.
Oh right.
And Chris Moore's lost one. Oh, I didn't say that, but he has.
Oh, one of yours?
Yeah.
Oh, little sod.
But you can always tell that the oysters, they're made of these layers, almost like fill-out pastry.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of my favourite fossils. That.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Everyone wants to find one of those, and there are some just there, look, in
the
ledge. But these are in the shale; they're better preserved. And then something else we have.
Oh, yeah, lovely.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, crinoid material.
That's actually from this beach. Is actually from just out there, in fact.
Christ.
Yeah, a rarer type. The sea lily or crinoid is missing its stalk. Here are bits of the stalk which we've picked up on the beach.
Yeah, we do get these, but in the lower Kimmeridge clay, not as big. We just find the sort of stems of these things. That's about it that we find in the lower Kimmeridge clay, but certainly not on a part of these. I mean, I've seen these huge, great sort of.
Well, so they lived on driftwood floating in the sea. When the wood became waterlogged, the whole colony sank down to the seabed. And the other thing about it is, though we were talking earlier about quality of preservation, this is the underside here.
Yeah.
And invariably, if you clean them from the top side, they're all broken because they've been predated and eaten and chewed and smashed. Whereas this is the side that's
stuck down in that mud.
Straight into the mud like that. So you always clean them from the underside.
Yeah, beautiful.
It is very nice. And of course, it's a crinoid. It's related to a starfish. The simplest way of thinking of that is it's a starfish on a stalk, waving its filtering arms in the water, catching food. What else? We have some bones. It's an ichthyosaur backbone.
Yeah.
That would have been about a 2 metre long animal, I reckon.
Yeah.
And our bones, I think pretty much like yours, are black or brown.
Yeah.
Everyone always thinks of bones as being white. And they are,
No,
modern
they probably
bones
were,
are white.
yeah.
They probably were, yes,
Yeah.
that's right. But the way they've been fossilised means that they've turned into black or brown.
Yeah.
And you can see the marrow-like structure
Yeah.
inside there very, very clearly.
Yeah, we find them in the Kimmeridge clay sometimes, light as a kite. When we cut them, those voids, that spongy bone inside, because it must have been filled with oil to give it real lightness, it's never been infilled.
Really? Well, I've not heard of that down here.
Yeah, no.
And of course, the backbones are the commonest thing because each ichthyosaur had about 130 of them.
Yeah,
but they only had one head.
Yeah, well, it's the most common thing you'll find at Kimmeridge, ichthyosaur verts. That's the. But finding the first one of those really set me. Oh.
Something else that it's only a little fragment.
Yeah.
That's again from just out here. Yeah, Dipedium, the fossil fish.
Oh yeah.
So.
Enamelled scales, beautiful.
Yeah, heavy enamelled scales.
Yeah.
So not like our modern day fish at all.
No.
And then just to cap it off, of course, we have a fossil poo with the scales in as well. My friend Keith found one last year. Fossil poo weighs half a kilo.
Any inclusions in it?
Not very many, no.
Was there any in other words, you see this spiral twist on this?
It's got that. It's got.
Has it? Oh, right.
It's
So-
like a giant pan of chocolate.
See, the thing is with these, if we get some at Kimmeridge, and you see the spiral twist and they go to a sort of point, both ends sort of thing, and they've analysed these things and actually they're reproduced exactly to that length in a modern shark. So are they all shark vertebrae? See, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm told the ones which have this twist are supposed to be shark.
Yeah.
But I mean, as I say, this is a 2 metre long. So we do find
I know,
vertebrae
30
sort of
foot, yeah,
this
30
size.
foot long things. Yeah,
big
but
things.
Right, you said how many? What's the size of that coprolite that Keith found then? Inch.
It's literally about like that.
Flattened?
No, round, like a great big Swiss roll.
Who's got it?
He has.
Oh, I'd love to see that. That's really interesting.
He wants to do a rate my fossil poo competition for the next fossil festival down here.
Right, yeah.
Only because he knows he's going to win.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
It's the best poo I think I've ever seen.
Good. Because again, you were talking about big reptiles, okay? Now, phosphate preserves really well, and that most of the coprolite is phosphatic sort of thing. And we find lots and lots of coprolites. The biggest coprolite I've ever got is like that. And sits about that sort of high, squashed down a bit. We never find anything else. So
you've got massive animals.
Yeah, I
haven't
know.
you?
So just think about it. Look at a chicken when it doesn't wee, it poos and wees at the sort of, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
if it goes in the water, it just goes poof and goes like a load of milky white. And I'm just thinking, reptiles, when they're feeding on bone and stuff like that, that bone gets digested. It doesn't come out because the food value in that, with the stomach acid, it takes everything.
yeah.
So is that not a sort of more of a liquid that comes out of a big reptile rather than something solid like it comes out of some of these sharks or whatever? I don't know.
It's funny you should say that, because actually we do find quite a lot of coprolites that are very splatted, very spread out.
Yeah.
In these sort of surfaces like that.
Yeah, we'll find them as thin films.
Yes, exactly like that.
And we'll find what we call lumbricaria, right? Which is actually a long string of like lace thing, very thin, and they think that's poo from ammonites. Now, that's the German.
What colour are they?
It's like a brownish colour, brownish black.
I've got some of that.
Yeah.
I call it a mysterious blob.
Oh, there you go. So,
the other suggestion somebody said to me was a holotherian, sea cucumber, like the cotton spinner that spins the.
Yeah.
But they're not uncommon, actually, in some of the rocks. And the other big difference, I guess, to most of Kimmeridge is we do have these limestones. They start off as nodules, big nodules. We broke them open looking for the big ammonites. And they're very layered. This is very handled now. Very laminated limestone. You can see the ammonites. And we tap those open and you get these beautiful ammonites inside. That's the shell, which has stuck to the rock. And this is a cast of the inside that's been filled with calcite. So you, apart from your rotunda beds, you haven't really got anything like that, have you, through the Kimmeridge?
We do get 3D ones. Yeah, we do, at certain intervals, but they're very uncommon.
Yeah.
And if in the low Kimmeridge, they're mainly pyritic, and they are a devil to prep. One of them took me about a month. Did get excellent preservation, really deep, but nothing like this. Nothing where you just go tap. And
yeah, that's right. A second.
Rotunda nods would give you stuff like that sometimes.
But they are quite hard to clean, aren't they, as well? You need to
They are, yeah. You're not just gonna, you're not gonna be lucky enough to do that.
There's a lovely old boy who used to work with me at Charmouth who said, because I used to show the kids how to find these things, they'd come in back into the centre with individual rocks, and I'd tap them open, and whenever one came out like that, he would say, "Now that was a penny for hitting the rock, and 99p for knowing where to hit it."
Yeah, that's what I call a David Attenborough rock. You know, when he comes down and goes,
yeah.
"Well, oh, look at that."
Yeah, it wasn't faked, of course.
No. That's a little beetle wing case in it, or something.
It is, yeah, something like that. Probably beetle.
Yeah. I reckon you got that at the Purbet beds. Cool.
But these rocks have a really curious texture as well, which I've never really seen anyone describe properly. You see this really sort of flaky,
it is,
almost sort of,
let's have another look at it. It's sort of, it's more like a coccolith, like, you know what I mean? I know.
Well,
yeah, but it's not.
It's almost, it's made of lots of flakes of organic material, to my mind. Almost like algae or something like that.
Oh, well, coccoliths are algae, single-cell algae.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so
nice.
that's a little...
What else you got?
That's it.
No,
that's
you haven't. You got, hang on.
Oh, well, okay.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look, this isn't that the lightest, but this, again, for someone who's collecting fossils, this is one of my first finds. An echinoid at the chalk. And that's just a flint cast. But beautiful. Shepherd's crowns, whatever you want to call them, but yeah.
And the way I like to explain to people about sea urchins is you take a starfish with its 5 arms and fold it up on itself, you get a sea urchin.
Yeah.
So here are the arms of the starfish coming down. That's what I like about evolution, the evolutionary steps. Sometimes they're so basic, but actually when you don't really think about them. When I was told that was like a revelation. It's like, of course it is.
Yeah.
The animals with five sides, 5-fold pentamerid symmetry. The echinoderms, Yeah.
What's that other lump you got there then?
Well, that
beef?
Yeah, that's beef. I always show that.
Oh, I love this. Right, coning comb calcite.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks it's wood, and I made the mistake at Lulworth years ago for picking up when I was a kid, and I thought it was wood, and of course it's not.
Yeah.
How that's formed is quite interesting because I've got a bit from the Kimmeridge clay. It's got a fault in it, and you can see there's lithified layered structures inside it. Like this. I'll show you one day.
It is quite complicated.
It is.
It's apparently there's methane's involved.
Yeah.
Very rapid burial is involved.
And you look at it, it's layered in a sense. It stops that and then starts again.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting.
Yeah, people pick it up because it always, what's this?
Yeah.
All the time. Because it is such a weird rock that
No,
you
it
naturally would pick it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't find beef on most beaches.
No.
And that's pretty much it, Steve. But this is just my little handling collection to give people an idea what they can hope to find when they go on the beach.
As a kid, that would enthuse me to really go mad down there. Yeah.
Good. That's what we're trying to do, isn't it?